Well, hello YouTube. How are you? We're back for another episode of What the Fuck America. To Joy Reid. Jeez. I really do not like this woman. She's a race baiting liar. She skirts like many of the other tabloid media people. Because that's all it is. It's just tabloid shit, just trying to raise controversy for their own sake and benefit, not for the sake of informing the actual public. It's just a tabloid on steroids. Well, she's discussing Trump's newest nominees, which I have to say I am thoroughly impressed. Honestly, if we thought for a second that Trump had it together in 2016, boy, were we mistaken with these choices. The choices he has made for his cabinet this time around, chef's kiss. Brilliant. Just fucking brilliant. I cannot explain how impressed I am with his choices. He really, over these last years, has thought good and long about who he was going to choose to be in his cabinet. And Secretary of Defense Pete, wow, impressive. Two Bronze Stars. The man is remarkable, and you'll see how Joy Reid just puts him in this little box of news anchor, but then fails to elaborate on his military record, which we will do at the end of the video, or at the end of her breakdown. She mocks and Mike Waltz. Wow. And Mike Huckabee? Are you kidding me? Mike Huckabee. The man is brilliant. Just absolutely brilliant. These choices he has made is staggering. Just absolutely staggering. I mean, when I say I'm thoroughly impressed, I am like legitimately thoroughly impressed by what he has done. Pete, just him alone, devout Christian, happily married with 7 children, military service, 20 years in the military. Worked as a CEO on a veterans program to privatize a veterans thing. Just on that, his resume is, he's got 2 degrees in politics, one from Harvard, the other one from Princeton. Just legitimately, he is extremely intelligent, and he's ex-military, which gives him that next level for Secretary of Defense. Hold on. So that alone just impressed me. But then Mike Waltz and Mike Huckabee. Just those 3 picks alone. If he picked no other than these 3 men, he would be doing brilliant things. But the fact that he also threw in Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, it's like a dream team's wet dream. It's like, anyways, let's get on with the video, because I want you to see the stupid that is flying out of this woman's mouth. And you know me, we're going to be stopping and starting and stopping and starting, so just calm yourself.
The former and future president is moving quickly to fill the clown car and round out his cabinet before he changes his mind and fires them all. Moments ago, Trump announced that he has selected Fox Weekend morning show host, you can't make this up, Pete Hegseth, to serve as Secretary of Defense, because why not? Trump is also...
See how she never mentioned his military service. And the fact that he earned 2 Bronze Stars. No, just overlooks it because she wants you to think he's a nothing burger. He's nothing. He has no education. He has no background in the military as Secretary of Defense. He's not qualified for this job, even though he is the most qualified person that's ever served in this position. Most guys that serve in this position are like noobs, or I want to say generals that have some kind of military record but never really served in a combat zone, so they don't know what it's like to be fired upon. At least that's my opinion of it. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but either they've never had any military experience at all, or they were OCF or officer training school from jump and has never seen combat. So, yeah. And the fact that she scoffs at this man's military record, mind you, this man has seen battle. She talked up Tim Walz and defended him jumping out of the military just before deploying, defending his military record. Oh, he's so wonderful. He served. But then bypasses the actual hero service as if it never happened. Fucking train wreck.
Reportedly landed on Florida Senator Marco Rubio as his Secretary of State, which will make him, Rubio, the first Latino to serve as America's first diplomat. Choosing a Latino neocon.
I want to know what the fuck his nationality has to do with his role as ambassador. What does his being Latino have to do with anything in his role as the ring carrier? And I'll explain that here in a second. Because Mark Rubio is yes, he is kissing the ring and bending the knee. But his role is to go from different country to different country carrying Trump's ring and getting and forcing the other dictators and leaders of the free world, their free worlds, to bend the knee and kiss the ring, which they've all already done, mind you, on camera. China has already kissed the ring and bent the knee, saying we want no problems with America. We love America. The Taliban, the day after Trump was elected, said they want no problem with America and they love America. All the countries that have been harboring Hamas leaders and Hamas training camps are now evicting all of these people out of their country, saying we want no problem with America, we love America. Hamas themselves in Gaza are saying we love America, we want no problem with America, we'll give you back your hostages, we're good. Putin himself has come onto camera and said, we're willing for peace talks. We respect Donald Trump. Whatever he wants to do, we'll do it. In other words, he has bent the knee and kissed the ring. Why? Because Trump has a habit of getting satellite pictures of people's homes handing it to them in a manila folder and telling them if they don't do what he tells them to do, he's going to kill them. Yep, that's what he does. He is a freaking gangster when it comes to this. This is his art of the deal. You see, I know where you are. I know where your family is. Keep playing the games you're playing, and I will turn your home and your family into a parking lot. Brilliant. And it's Mark Rubio's job to go from country to country with the ring in tow and demand that they kiss it in front of him as to gain their loyalty, or parking lot city, here we come.
On Warhawk, after running a racist isolationist campaign, raises, questions. Rubio was a loyal surrogate for Trump during the campaign, even after being passed over for vice president and after being a punching bag for Trump during the 2016 campaign.
I watched this lightweight Rubio, total lightweight, and little mouth on him, bing, 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 bing. When they put Marco on to refute President Obama's speech, do you remember that catastrophe? And he's like this, and we were, I need water, help me, I need water, help.
Oh, the world is looking at us like we're absolutely insane. I'm just saying that. Okay, but let's just dispel with this fiction that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's doing. Even there, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Yes, he
does. And he's placing sycophancy and bending the knee as the most important prerequisites for jobs in his administration. It's really the only...
It's called prerequisite, not prerequisite.
...way that you could explain Trump choosing someone whose positions about you are as fickle as this.
I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2". Have you seen his hands? They're like this. And you know what they say about men with small hands? I will never stop until we keep a con man from taking over the party of Reagan and the conservative movement. It is time to open our eyes. We cannot allow a con artist to get access to the nuclear codes of the United States of America. With Donald Trump back in the White House together, we will dream big again for this country. We will be a country that once again is proud of its history, excited about its future.
I'm so sorry.
That was the 2016 election, and during an election year, as everybody does, they made fun of each other. Trump's was funnier, Trump's was funnier, but it's called politics, broad. You have been giving your opinion on politics for years now, and you still don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, God. Joining me now is David Jolly, who served in the House of Representatives as a Republican, but for some reason we can never figure out, that we've been trying for years, is no longer affiliated. No longer affiliated with them. I'm sorry.
You just saw a lot. One of the main reasons. You just saw a lot.
I'm so embarrassed. The whole world can see us, David. They can see us. They can see.
Yes, they can see us. And they are terrified of what they see, because Orange Man is in the White House and Orange Man is twitchy. And they want no part of what Orange Man will twitch upon if they piss him off. So they will and have bent the knee and will be kissing the ring as soon as Rubio brings it to them to do so.
See us. They see us. They're like, what
They all fall in line. They all fall in line, Joy.
Yes,
Eventually,
they
they all
do.
fall in line.
Where is the dignity? I mean, how? Okay, I mean, in all seriousness, I'm sorry. I had a little laughing fit, and I apologize. I get laughing fits, and I can't stop. How does Rubio look going around the world when he's going, let's say, to Venezuela, and Trump is making a guy who's very hardcore on Venezuela, anti-Maduro, take the knee to Maduro, take the knee to Putin? That's the job. He's taking a job where he's just going to be humiliated. How long before he gets fired?
I know, Joy. I mean, Ted Cruz should be thanking Marco Rubio because it shifts the spotlight to his bending of the knees this evening. Look, I think the telling sign was actually April of this year, I believe, when months after Ukraine needed that final aid package, or at least the latest aid package, Ukraine was begging for it, Democrats were begging for it, many Republicans were begging for it. Marco Rubio flipped on his previous position of being hawkish on Russia and actually voted against aid to Ukraine, waved the white flag, and basically said, I'm going to go along with President Trump's idea of just ceding territory to Vladimir Putin. The reason that's interesting is that was just before the Veep stakes started up and people were talking about Marco Rubio. So he clearly was falling in line for his own place of power and prominence. And then when he didn't get the Veep stakes, I guess this is the consolation prize. But to your point, I'm not sure the Secretary of State under Donald Trump has any power anyway. Donald Trump could have run foreign policy on his Twitter account. And
yeah, exactly. Marco Rubio will have no power. His only job is to run from country to country and demand peace, or you're gonna get a piece. You either bend the knee and kiss the ring, or you're parking lot city. Just saying, because the funny thing is China did something China has never done with any other country, and that was, we love the United States. We want no problems with the United States. We will do whatever Donald Trump says. And then the EU, that was another big old how do you do when Trump got elected. They said we will no longer be buying gas or oil from Russia as soon as America starts drilling for gas and oil. We will be buying from them. Why? Because the EU recognizes that without America, they don't have an EU. Because we pay for most of that. And they know if they don't pay their fair share by buying gas and oil from us, well then the EU is done and they no longer exist. Because they can't function on what other countries pay them because they don't pay their fair share. See how that works? It's called, we have the power. Donald Trump knows how to wield that power and get everybody in line without him even having to twitch a finger. It's called respect. Donald Trump has that respect. He's earned that respect. Hence the reason, as soon as he was elected, everybody bent the knee. Everybody bent the knee. Every nation that has been sucking us dry has bent the fucking knee. Just saying.
that's going to be the end of it. And then Rubio's going to have to back it up in front of the press, I suppose.
And just humiliate. I mean, and look, are we surprised? I mean, his staff basically wrote the immigration reform bill during the Obama administration, and he voted against his own bill and turned on it because Rush Limbaugh yelled at him one time. So it's not, you know, there's the old saying that you and I both know in Florida: if you're depending on Marco Rubio to save you, you're already dead. Let's go to the other cast of characters. It's like he's casting a ratchet TV show on Tubi. You've got Michael Waltz, his pick to be national security.
And you would know all about Ratchet there, Miss Wannabe political analyst. You're just a propagandist who doesn't have a clue on what truth is. You wouldn't know the truth if it walked up and bit you on your ass while shaking your hand and giving you directions to where truth was hiding.
Advisor. He advised Dick Cheney, Dick Cheney on counterterrorism. He went after Liz Cheney and said, and sort of fantasized about her being shot in the face, and then hired Dick Cheney's advisor.
Again, another lie. He didn't fantasize about Liz Cheney getting shot in the face, him shooting. He said if Liz Cheney had to put her money where her mouth was and actually go to war behind her policies, actually have to face the gunfire that she demands our children face during wartime, she wouldn't be so quick to sign up for war and send our children to war. Because it would be her facing the gunfire just as much as it is us. Funny how the elite's children never have to face the consequences of the actions of the elite, while the poor and the lower middle class are the ones that have to face those consequences, face that bullet, that cannon fire, so to speak, while the elite and their children never see an inch of violence. That's all we ever see, thanks to people like Liz Cheney and Dick Cheney.
To be his national security guy. Let's keep going. Mike Huckabee. Oh, that's fun. Huckabee's back. He's going to be the ambassador to Israel. His quote, he says, negotiating for the Palestinians is like trying to negotiate with the Nazis in World War II. You just don't. You beat them. You defeat them. You eradicate them. A lot of people voted for Trump because they were mad about Biden's foreign policy in Israel. Well, that's what it is now. We've also got Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem, can we watch her dancing?
The thing about Mike Huckabee is the man is brilliant. The man is brilliant. He's a pastor. He's well educated. He's got substance. And I agree with him. You cannot trust Hamas. You must eradicate Hamas. October 7th was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen the videos that Hamas themselves recorded and put out for everybody to see, and the absolute gratuitous violence that they forced on Israel. You get what you gave. And all the Gaza people who were like, I saw their reactions when the hostages were being taken back into Gaza. I saw the women slapping the young Jewish girls in the face and spitting on them, yelling Allah Akbar as they were celebrating the death of Jewish people and the rape and beatings of those young girls. I saw the blood on the fronts and backs of those girls' pants as those Gaza women co-signed what those men did. They co-signed it. They slapped those girls in the face. They spit on them. They did nothing to help them. You get what you give. If all you give is violence, destruction, and death, that's what you get. The Bible says, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. These women allow their children to watch cartoons that show Hamas people killing Americans and Jews. That's all they glorify in their cartoons is gratuitous violence. The slitting of the throats of Jewish and American people. And you wonder, how is it people are so violent? Well, it's in their culture. And the only way to end that culture is to just get rid of them all. And that will kill it off. I know that sounds harsh and cruel, but when all you teach your children is to kill, either through your cartoons or through the ways that you talk in your family, where killing Jewish people and Americans is glorified, and that to kill them is to make your parents proud, and to do suicide bombs is glory to God, you're breeding future terrorists. And the way you nip that in the bud is to just nip it in the bud, period. And that's all I'm going to say about that one. I feel sorry for the people in Gaza, but I got nothing for you. I know it sounds mean and cruel and unfeeling, but it is the most compassionate thing I can come up with when I saw what I saw. And you can see these videos all over the internet, thanks to Hamas, who recorded everything they did and posted it online. Videos are forever. And the absolute gratuitous violence, the killing of They put babies in ovens. They lit them on fire in their cribs. All while saying glory to God. No, I got nothing for you. You get what you give. And the only way to get rid of Hamas is to get rid of all of Hamas. Even the future Hamas that are currently in training right now.
She was dancing next to Trump when he did his weird, just sort of swaying for 45 minutes, and she danced with him, and that was her audition.
It's called white church dancing. It's called white church dancing.
White church.
I know that.
What is happening?
That is a racist comment. And that's why she's being fired. Because Trump and his team are about to come down hard on all news media stations for their political bias propaganda ways. And they either need to straighten up and start telling the truth, or they will be eliminated because the FCC and the American people will no longer be paying for their news outlets. They will no longer be receiving federal funding. They will no longer be licensed as news medias. They will lose their license. And they have that coming. For 12, 15 years now, all we've heard is nothing but lies from them. It's over now. The game is over.
Is he casting for a TV show or a presidency?
Well, if you do, compare this to 16, right? When there were some people that came in from outside of MAGA world, however it was in its infancy, and they were going to be normal Republicans or normalized Trump. That's not this go-round. In fact, he's bringing in the likes of Pete Hegseth from Fox News to be Secretary of Defense. And look, Hegseth himself has 20 years as a National Guardsman. Good for him. He also represented the Koch brothers to try to help private.
See how they just gloss over his stellar military background? As Secretary of Defense, do you want someone who's a civilian and has no idea how the fucking military works? Or do you want someone who's military, knows exactly how the military works, as Secretary of Defense?
Ties the VA. So he's bringing in these super conservatives, and I think it's the loyalty test first, conservatism second.
And let's talk about what Donald, this is even the scariest, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Great, we're going to get to hear his voice again for however many years till he gets fired. They're going to lead something called the Department of Government Efficiency. They're supposed to now be in charge of cutting the budget, which is normally the job of the House of Representatives. You served in the House. Doesn't the House have to be involved some way in creating a new government agency, or can...
Only if they expect it to be funded with taxpayer dollars, which they do not. So of course not. They will not have to go through Congress for approval. They are not a bureaucratic system that's going to be permanently in place. They are just there to clean up the mess that is the federal government and shrink it down and get rid of the redundancies in the federal government, and they are not taking a pay for doing this. They are doing this of their own free will without pay because they don't need the money. See how that works?
Trump just whipped one up on Twitter.
No, Joy, that's right. I think Donald Trump's just handing out candy right now to his friends and family. Congress is required to establish federal departments to define the jurisdiction.
Again, no, they don't, unless they are expecting federal tax dollars, which they are not. Hence the reason they can bypass congressional approval, because they're not requiring federal tax dollars to do what they're about to do. It makes it so that they're not part of the bureaucracy. They'll still get a security clearance because Trump will give them that, which will give them access to everything the federal government has been hiding and doing, and allow them to get rid of the redundancy and shrink the federal government down to where our forefathers wanted it.
And to decide how it's appointed. Presidents can certainly appoint aides and non-congressional positions, but there will not be a Department of Government Efficiency without Congress, which actually raises the question, does Congress now just rubber stamp that in one of its next appropriations bill? And here's what it's going to be. This is your Project 2025 department.
Yes.
The Department of Government Efficiency.
No, this is not Project 2025, you freaking morons. Oh my God. Anything they can do to stick that to Trump, even though Trump says he doesn't know anything about it, that it is a heritage project thing. It has nothing to do with him. He's Project 47. 47. Yeah. And even if Project 2025 was part of what they were trying to stick in, a lot of us like some of the stuff going on in Project 2025. We agree with like over half of what's in it. And we want it. But it's not Trump's agenda. It has nothing to do with Trump. So tired of that lie. Anything they can say to get it in there that this is part of Trump's plan is Project 2020. Anything they can get to tie his name to what the Heritage Foundation put together, they practically foam at the mouth to be able to do that, even though it's an absolute lie and has been proven to be a lie so many times. It's a lie they don't want to stop telling because it makes it look more threatening than it really is.
Efficiency by Ramaswamy and Elon. That's your Project 2025 department without the bad impressions that Heritage created during the campaign trail.
Right, and I mean, the sort of irony is people are now mass Googling Project 2025, because now...
No, they're not. Everybody already knows what Project 2025 is. It's all anybody's talked about for the last 4 years since it came out.
They want to know what it is. It's like, no, man, Project 2025 is what your government is going to be. There are a few other people that we know are going to probably be there. I believe one of his lawyers, Alina Habba, might be his spokesperson. So essentially, it's everyone who did him a solid and danced for him, or as you say, white church danced for him, or danced around in a bedazzled jacket for him at the place where Puerto Rico was called a trash heap. That's how you get a job with Trump. Do you think any of these people last a year?
Yeah.
I guess it's all a loyalty test, but probably not. We'll see some high-profile firings. I think all this culminates in Donald Trump setting up his own media platform, pushing Fox News, Newsmax, and OAN out of the way, and all these cast of characters that you will see with government.
Yes, including CNN and MSNBC, and CBS and ABC. You're all going to lose your media station privileges because you're not media. You're a tabloid. You're going to lose your license to be called a media station because that's not what you are. You are an absolute tabloid. You bring no facts, just lies and opinions and fear tactics.
Responsibility now will have their television shows after in a Trump media platform, which should concern all of us, is whether or not the first priority of these appointments is actually somebody that can govern. I will say with Rubio, he's qualified. People can probably disagree with him. He's actually...
You think Rubio is more qualified than Pete, Mark, or Mike Waltz and Mike Huckabee? You think Mark Rubio is more qualified than those three people? He couldn't hold a candle to these three people. Hence the reason his only job is to carry the ring from country to country and get the leaders to kiss the ring and bend the knee. That's all he's supposed to do because that's all he's good for doing. Just wait.
One of the more qualified picks. Kristi Noem maybe as an executive, but hopefully there's no dogs around the office at DHS. But this gets real quick when you start going down the trail here.
Well, first of all, Trump hates dogs, so he won't have a dog.
Notice how she brings up that blank piece of paper to act as though she actually has notes. There was nothing on it. Kind of like her head. Wow.
So then I guess that the White House is safe for pets because Trump, it was Trump, he claimed the Haitians are eating pets. Christy Gnome shoots the pets, and that's actually true. That's like not even slang here. It's real.
The first investigation of the new DHS secretary will be in Springfield, Ohio. But we can probably count on that. Site visit.
Lord help, the world can see us. David Jolly, thank you.
Okay, so you heard the stupid. All right, let's go to... Look at all the books he's written. Now let's go to his qualifications. Jesus, man. Pete served as an infantry officer in the Army National Guard, serving in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Guantanamo Bay. He was a guard in Guantanamo. He holds 2 Bronze Stars and a Combat Infantryman badge for his time in Iraq and Afghanistan. He also held the position as CEO for Concerned Veterans for America, a veterans advocacy organization. He earned a bachelor's degree from Princeton University and a master's degree in public policy from Harvard. His bachelor's was in politics at Princeton. He has 7 children and a wife. He believes in God and country. He's perfect for what he's being asked to do. Mike Waltz. He's worked in leadership, continued at the White House, as well as the Pentagon as Defense Policy Director for Secretaries of Defense Donald Rumsfeld and Robert Gates. He also advised the Bush administration policy. He's an experienced soldier. He's a Green Beret. He's written children's books. He's a Christian. He's a small business owner, has 400 employees, so he's built things. He didn't just live off of fucking government shit. He actually built a business. He's a former Fox News contributor. He's an expert in foreign policy, defense, and business viewers around the world. Mike is determined to be part of the new generation of leadership in Congress, servant leader, as chairman of the House Armed Service Committee. The man has qualifications. The man has qualifications. Up the wazoo. More than frickin' Rubio does. He has more qualifications than Rubio does. And then Mike Huckabee. Holy crap, that man has done so much stuff. He's not only a pastor, he's very well educated, very smart man. He's been in politics or political analysis for decades. There isn't anything he doesn't know when it comes to politics and the history of this country. He's written several books. The man is just more than qualified. He's more qualified than anybody else. Of all people that are qualified, Mike Huckabee is the most qualified of all of them. His study and the things that he's done far exceed what anybody else has done politically. Mike Huckabee has been there, done that for decades, and is going to be the perfect ambassador. So I don't know what this lady is going on about, or why she feels the need to go after. Well, I do know why. She's jealous, and she's hateful and spiteful and a racist. And a DEI hire. Let's be honest. Because in fact, you know what? Let's take a look at what Joy Reid's qualifications for news anchor are. Let's see what she's been to school for. She's led protests. I don't see anything. Where'd she go to school? Education, Harvard, a bachelor's degree. That's it? In television hosting. That's it. That's her qualification. A BA, a bachelor's degree. That's it. That's her qualification for saying the things that she says. Holy crap, that's the extent of her knowledge, is Democratic propagandist. That's it. She's got a BA in hosting. That's it. That's it. And she has the audacity to scoff at people who have had decades of leadership, servitude, and warrior veterans. She has the audacity to scoff at their accomplishments while hers being this big. It is jealousy. It is absolutely jealousy. That explains so much. That explains so much. She has no... She definitely does not have a servant's heart, unlike the people that have been chosen by Trump to serve the American taxpayers. That's definitely not her. Louise. Good God Almighty, I wish it was that easy. But jealousy is a brutal bitch. And Joy Reid is green with it. Green with it. Though she is a millionaire thanks to this nation. Thanks to MSNBC, who now is... here's some great news for everybody that watches. She is being fired from MSNBC because the ratings have plummeted. And Joy Reid is on the chopping block to be dismissed permanently. I guess race baiting and lying off your ass doesn't qualify you for anything other than an unemployment line. So welcome to the real world, Joy. You're a millionaire. You better go buy some land and build a house. A nice little simple house so your money will last. And worry about being taxed to death because you're part of the 1% that doesn't pay their fair share according to your standards. So let's have fun. Bye, guys. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, because leaving a comment puts me out into the YouTube sphere and allows my videos to be offered up to others. And let's grow my channel, because boy, we got a lot to do. This is going to be a great ride. So buckle up, Buttercup. It's about to get interesting. See you guys next time.